Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're gonna take a look at a team around Greninja built by Tonto. I found this team here on the infographics on Twitter randomly on my timeline, so yeah, shouts to them there as well. But yeah, we're going to have a team here with Greninja in the lead. We're going to have the Stay Swap of the Charger Bug and also the Clodsire in the back. We're going to have some interesting movesets, I would say, because we're going to have Crunch on our Charger Bug, which we're going to talk about a little bit later as well. And we're going to have Poison Sting on our Clodsire, which apparently is going to have a better matchup against Azumarill. And I have to say, Clodsire with Poison Sting was quite nice. I definitely did like this update quite a bit, as we're going to encounter in the first battle the Carbing in the lead, where we're going to be able to at least still go ahead and go for a charge move against the Sableye or against the opponent as well. We had a great matchup there with our Greninja. Apparently the opponent is triple weak to Greninja. Kinda sad that we didn't go for the Hydro Cannon because I was expecting a shield from the opponent, but we didn't get one. I decided to use a shield here. It's going to be a return, which is quite lovely, as now we can go for that X-Scissor, try to knock out the opponent's Sableye and take a look at what they're going to have in the bag. They decided to go ahead and go into the Trevenant, and usually it's a safe play to let the move go through, but not if we're running Crunch, and so we do quite a lot of damage here. And why do you want to have a Crunch on that Charger Bug? Two kind of things with it. First thing is that you kind of want to bait out Gligar, because Gligar is pretty bad for your Pokemon in the back, which is the Clodsire here. The other thing, you have a Dark type in the lead, and I also kind of like to have Dark type coverage then on my Sacer position. And that's kind of what, our Charger Bug is going to do here today. This Pokemon is quite nice in the current meta, and also is quite nice with that moveset. I definitely enjoyed Crunch quite a bit, and I maybe actually feel like Crunch is better than Discharge. Like, there are of course occasions where Discharge would have been nice, like there's always going to happen with those movesets, but I have to say, just generally speaking, I definitely enjoyed quite a bit to have Crunch on this Pokemon, and also the option to get the debuff onto the opponent is quite nice. Like, there's definitely helped me out quite a bit in some matchups as well. What you're gonna see here all today, of course, is we will see the opponent swapping into an Hakamo, which is quite awkward for us because, yeah, now we can align our Clodsire doing neutral damage with both the fast move as well as the charge move. But, yeah, again, it would have been kind of cool if we hit the Hydro Cannon or just kept our energy, which would have been also quite nice. But is what is. We can still go for that Earthquake here, which is going to be able to get the shield from the opponent as I decide to go for another charge move, hopefully. We are going to be able to knock them out, though, with our Clodsire, and they're not swapping out here onto our Earthquake. They cannot, as we align ourselves perfectly. This is going to be able to do quite a lot of damage, still not get the knockout, as they're going to be able to knock us out, but now it's all down to Charger Bug. Can Charger Bug win this battle for us? It's going to be a tough one. It's going to be the Goodra in the back. They have to kind of go down from two charge moves of mine, as Excel is going to connect here. It is doing quite some decent damage, but I don't think it is going to do, yeah, the damage that we kind of need here, because we kind of still need a little bit more. I don't think we can farm them down before they can go for another charge move. They decide, of course, let the move go through as they don't have shields, and yes, they can still reach a charge move, which makes this way, way worse. As we will see, the opponent is gonna go now into their Feraligatr, and sadly they can just farm me all the way down. Next opponent, let's take a look what they're going to run. They're going to have the Gligar in the lead, which is going to be a great matchup for the Greninja. We decided to go for the bait here because if they stay in here, they're very likely weak to us in the back, and also they also don't want to get rid of their Gligar immediately. A Hydro Cannon is one-shotting them, so like for them, this is kinda the safer play to go for the shield here. I can go straight for a charge move because I don't really want to risk them going for another aerial ace before I reach my charge move, as they can still reach theirs. It's actually quite a neutral scenario here, right? Like, I could of course go for the Night Sash the entire time, which also would win me the game in the two-shade scenario, like the matchup at least. But as you can see, the opponent is going to have another Sableye in the back, which we can now hit with a Hydro Cannon as their shield's down, and this is going to be kinda nice. As we will see, we can swap onto the Charger Bug. They are going to go ahead and go to their Registeel, and this is a little bit awkward because I would have rather had the Registeel against our Clodsire, as Clodsire is double resisting, at least the Zap Cannon. Here, Zap Cannon is going to be still also resisted. Everything is kind of resisted from the opponent on my Pokemon in the back, but it's a way favorable matchup here for our Clodsire. So, as we see, Crunch is getting double debuff here, which is quite nice. I should have went for the X-Scissor here, by the way. Like, this is guaranteed a knockout for X-Scissor, but yeah, as you can see, The Crunch is definitely doing enough damage as well. I can swap out into my Greninja, giving them a little bit more as well, which is a little bit awkward, but as we will see here as well, I think I still have Mudshot here at this point on the Clodsire. I forgot to change it, which is actually nice because Mudshot is neutral. I think Poison Sting would have been resisted from the Ghost typing, and so we can go for the 4 farm down and move on to the next opponent. Sandslash in the lead is actually really good for us. This is a very favorable lead for us as they swap out into the Annihilate. I try to go for the bait here. Not too sure if this is the right call or not, but it is going to get the shield, which is kind of cool, and I can swap into the Clodsire, hoping that I would be able to knock them out with an Earthquake. Yes, I could have also went into my Charger Bug, which does do neutral damage with both Volt Switch as well as the Crunch, which might have been the better play as well. But I have a little bit more bulk on the Clodsire, which I like, and maybe if I had Mudshot here, I would have been able to farm them down. I have to say, I don't think I actually encountered a single Azumarill here today with this team, or at least not on my... Oh, actually, I definitely encountered one Azumarill, but I don't think it really mattered that I have Poison Sting on my Clodsire for that one. Here, I'm still forced to go for another charge move, but I can still swap out as my team is kind of decent. That is hilarious. I was not expecting to see the Azumarill here in the exact same battle where I say they basically don't encounter any Azumarill with this Pokemon, but yeah, it is what it is. We can still just go for the Hydro Cannon spam, which does quite some decent damage, and now I am gonna go ahead and go into my Charger Bug anyway. We have super effective coverage with our fast move, which is kind of cool. We are forced to go for a charge move eventually as well, but as you can see here, we just gotta get a free charge move in, or like fast move in here, which is going to be lovely. As Ice Beam is barely doing any damage, I can go for 2 more, go for the Exeter. This is going to be enough to knock them out for sure. If they want to use a shield, I still have another one stored for them. They decide to let the move go through, and now it's down to our Charger Bug to clean up this battle. We still have some energy though on our Clodsire in the back, and so I was hoping that I can still reach another charge move here with my Charger Bug, but they can go for their own charge move in time. Ice Punch is gonna get shielded. I can go for that Crunch, and I think this was a CMP tie, which kind of seals the deal, as we can go for another Crunch here, getting them insanely low, which is so lovely for us, because now even Poison Sting is going to be enough to knock them out, and we can win this battle. Next opponent, we're going to have a very decent lead actually for us. It's going to be the Spammy in the lead. We lose this in the 0 shields. We have some more lag here as well, which is honestly, like, lag was quite annoying for me today. But we can go for the Hydro Cannon, 2-shotting the opponent with that as well, which is quite lovely, but we are of course forced to use a shield here. If it's going to be a Brave Bird, it would knock us out. We would still survive a Sky Attack, but it's a little bit risky to not go for a shield. Anyway, I can go for another charge move here. It is going to be able to get the knockout against them, and they swap out into Latios. Latios is having quite a lot of fast move pressure, especially against this team as well. And I maybe make a mistake here. I have to see. I think I make a mistake here. I decided to go ahead and go for another Night Slash. And here I decided to go ahead and go into my Charger Bug, which I should have not done. I should have went most likely into my Clodsire, which has way more neutral play. Of course, the Lost Approach would one-shot us most likely on the Clodsire, but at the end of the day, maybe it was actually the right call, because they have in the back the worst possible Pokemon I could encounter, which is the Quagsire. Quagsire is even worse than Whiscash, because Whiscash I still would be able to survive a move here on our Charger Bug. Against Quagsire, I'm kind of forced to try to catch a move, which does never work out basically, because if you have a 4-10 fast move or like Volt Switch, it's basically impossible to catch a move. Like, even if you wait out turns or whatever, it's just basically impossible. As Awkward Tail is coming through here, we would be able to go for the Stone Edge, which maybe would have been a play as well, but I don't think it really helped me. And so I'm forced to let the move go through. They can swap out, and now Latios just has to reach another Dragon Claw to knock me out, and this is going to be a good game. Losing to that Latios is quite wild, but let's move on to the next opponent. I definitely enjoyed the spice though from the opponent there, so good game there. We're going to see the Empoleon against us. This is going to be quite a nice one here as well, as we can go ahead and go for the Night Slash. And as you can see, we can 2-shot the opponent. I'm still going to use a shield here. While I would still survive that Drill Peck, I rather want to keep my Greninja healthy, especially as I can overfarm quite a bit against the opponent. Go for the Night Slash. This would knock them out for sure, and we will see a shield coming up. But this will not help them, because I can still go for another charge move. And as I kind of want to keep my Greninja alive, I swap out now into my... Wait, never mind. I decided to still actually use a shield here, and now I can swap out afterwards into my Charger Bug to try to catch not a move really. I kind of want to just get the knockout with a Volt Switch, but yeah, corner move here. It's going to be the Hydro Cannon, which is quite annoying, but it is what it is, because now we have a Gligar against us, and we're still going to have Crunch, which is going to get the opponent quite low, and we still have some nice energy on our Greninja, which is going to help us out against this Gligar for sure. We can even go for a Night Slash after this Crunch hitting the opponent, as Night Surge would be enough to knock them out. We don't get any debuff here, but as we will see, the opponent very likely going to swap out here straight away. And I cannot really do anything about it. I'm forced to go for a charge move straight away, and they're going to have the Annihilate in the back. And here, I don't think I had really a choice. I don't think really I had a choice here to do anything, because the opponent has so much energy still on the Gligar. I'm kind of in this very tough spot here, I would say, as we will go ahead and go for that Earthquake. The opponent just going to have basically 100 energy on this Pokemon, and even if they go for the Dig here straight away, they're still going to have an Aerial Ace stored. I don't have a Night Surge stored, and so there was no real way of me winning this battle. I think this is just like kind of unfortunate, but good game to the opponent. Let's move on to the next one. We're going to have here the Greninja against Typhlosion. That's a lovely elite matchup for us. They swap out into the Medicham. I should swap out most likely a little bit earlier. But nowadays, I think it's kind of safe to go into the Charge Bug, because most of them are running Dynamic Punch and Ice Punch. And the main damage source, the counter damage plus Dynamic Punch damage, is going to be resisted from our, Charger Bug, which is kind of nice. And so Ice Punch is the only thing they can go for. I decided to overfarm by quite a bit here, just so I can retaliate after this matchup. It's always kind of important to keep some energy on your Pokemon, by the way. Don't always go straight for their charge move. It does not really help you out for the secondary matchup. For example, here, I really would have liked to go for a Crunch, but this is, again, perfect timing of saying something that doesn't really work out at the end of the day. But yeah, Crunch would have been cool here. I should have definitely tried to go for that. But as you can see here, at least I still have a very decent matchup with my Greninja. I will be able to outspeed the opponent now anyway, so if they use a shield here, it's still going to be fine, because I can go for the Night Surge, force the final shield or the knockout against them, and I'm kind of happy about this, as they decide to let the move go through. It's going to be that Trevenant, and they decide to forfeit. Honestly, I did not even know that this would be like a very positive matchup for me anyway. I thought it would be kind of neutral, but I definitely take the forfeit from the opponent, as we will see another Annihilate here, which is going to be quite awkward, and they decide to catch the move. I think on a Sandslash here exactly, and this is still going to be fine though. We can still survive a move from the opponent. We get even a free fast move in, which is quite delicious here, as the opponent goes for the Ice Punch. It is not going to really help them too much. We can go for a Crunch. This would knock them out for sure, as they let the move go through, allowing me to align myself, allowing me to go for another Crunch against the opponent, hoping for that debuff here against them, as we will get the shield, which is even better for me. Honestly, it's better, because if they let the move go through, most I would have not had a chance of really knocking them out with the Clodsire. Here decide to catch the move on the Greninja, as Greninja can take the charge moves quite easily, as it's going to be all resisted. That's at least what I thought, but Shadow Ball definitely disagreed with that, as we will have the Dugong in the back. We are going to be in a spot right now where it is quite awkward for us. We can go for the Stone Edge, get the shield from the opponent, as they gonna go for that Icy Wind. Let's see how this is going to turn out. We still have super effective coverage, they have super effective coverage, but they also can debuff me, which is really annoying. The debuff is mainly the thing that kind of bothers me here, as we will see that we definitely need a Stone Edge without a debuff in order to knock them out. So my only play is to catch a move, but it's very predictable for the opponent. The opponent doesn't really fear anything from me, because they know, like, yeah, they don't really have to throw until I swap out here, and I swap out directly into my Clodsire. They can still go for a Night Slash here. And this is going to be it for this game. There is not a lot that I can do about it. And we can move on to the final, not the final game, actually the second to last game for today, as they can just knock me out here. So, second to last, we're going to have the Deoxys. And honestly, this opponent, I kind of want to copy the team. Like, I have to say, I might copy the team from this opponent. Look at this. Like, they're going to have the Deoxys, a Pokemon I really want to make a video about anyway, but maybe not in the team that they are running here. And they're going to be able to now go ahead and catch the move on the Annihilate, which is totally fine. I can still survive this move as well, so like, we're not in the worst spot. I mean, we're kind of in a bad spot, I have to say. The issue here for us is the opponent already had 2 times counter. And guess what? The opponent going to have in the back as well. Another counter user. And so basically, starting into the battle, we only had 2 Pokemon with the backline that we had here, because Greninja is not going to really help us. But I did not realize at this point, by the way, like, I was kind of not expecting triple counter, because triple counter is kind of gone from nowadays meta. And they saw out back into the Deoxys. I tried to most likely catch a move zone, but I decided actually to go for an Earthquake first, which is totally fine. That's totally happy. I can just go for that, get some damage onto them. I can use a shield here. It's definitely best to use a shield. And I will try to catch the next move onto my Greninja, which will be able to not work out. They have an Obstagoon. And not only this, they also have a very special move on Obstagoon. You know it already. It is going to be the Obstruct, and so this game is over. Honestly, nothing I could have done, to be fair. Like, I don't think there was a way of winning this battle. Just triple counter, while I have 2 counter resist in the back, is just a little bit too annoying to basically have 2 Pokemon against 3. So, it is what it is. Let's move on to the final battle. We're going to have a Greninja against Cresselia. Quite a decent matchup for us, especially if we would get a boost here. We haven't seen a boost at all today. So, I wish that I get a boost. Not really here because it's a Poliwrath. Poliwrath we can still counter with our Charger Bug, so I'm kind of happy about this one. We don't need Discharge for this at all either because we have still the super effective Volt Switch damage, which is really what matters in this matchup. If they get a debuff, which they don't, doesn't matter either. I can go for a double Excel if I want to, and I'm in a fairly decent spot, I have to say. Excel coming through, we're going to get the knockout. Let's see what is coming up next. It is going to be the Skeleturge, and I can still get the Crunch off, which I was not supposed to get off because I think the opponent lagged for 1 turn, which really helped us out here. We can try to reach another one. Actually, never mind. I would have been able to swipe it anyway, as we just saw. So, like, all good there. We can actually go ahead and go into our Clodsire, which can take some hits, which is kind of important because we are shields down. And so we're going to be able to go for another Stone Edge. This is going to knock them out, and it's going to be just Greninja against the Cresselia. And honestly, when it comes to spamminess, Greninja is, I think, actually the best Pokemon in the game for it. Like, yeah, they're going to be some, I guess, yeah, you could say something like a Greedent is a little bit better because you can just spam Body Slam. But you're just going to have more fast move pressure as well, because you have like fast move pressure with the Water Shuriken as well, plus a great energy generation, which is just like so unique to Greninja, which is so cool. I really like that what they did with Greninja for Pokemon Go. But yeah, this is going to be it for this video. There is the boost of the video, literally when it didn't matter, and I see you then. Bye bye.